Yesterday we were at Treblinka, said you can come and we can leave. In those days you could come, but you never left. It's the same thing with this. What was going on here is unimaginable. You see, the problem with these things, why I am personally so involved, is that there are people saying that these things never happened. And this is the most heart-wrenching for any survivor to hear. And why are they doing that? What is their purpose? What is the purpose of it? And we're not going to be around forever. The age of every survivor is, I don't know what it is, I'm 82, I'm going to be 83. How long am I going to be around? And this is why I and people like me are trying to be witnesses, so to speak. Hopefully the people who will be listening, particularly the younger generation, university and high school students, will learn what took place. In these days, if you were caught loose, a Jew loose, the ghetto was liquidated, the only Jews here were in the camp. If you were loose and they saw you, they shot you. If somebody saw you and he wanted to collect the reward for turning in a Jew, which was a bottle of vodka and a bag of sugar, you were gone. I managed to run to the forest and make it without anybody noticing me. It was in the afternoon already. It was in the summertime. And I went to the edge of the forest and I sat down and I said, well, what now? What now? What now? What am I going to do? My thoughts went to my father and my brother, because if they found anybody who ran away, he was missing, and they couldn't find you within a specified time, which was a day or so, they would shoot 10 prisoners. And who did they pick to shoot? If you had family left, these were the first to choose. If you had no family left, they would take 5 people from either side of your bunk, take them outside, take all the prisoners out, and somebody would make a speech. This is what happens if somebody runs away. So, what am I supposed to do? What would any one of you do? I decided to run back. So I'm glad everybody came to join me to remember those who are buried here, dying a natural death, and what's more, who are buried here, who were murdered. When I go back and think of my neighbors, my family, my neighbors, my school friends, my fellow congregants, house by house, I remember the odd person who survived. And I also try to remember all those who lived there and didn't survive. It is as though they never existed. And it's very important for people like us and the children, particularly the students, to remember them. To remember them, I can see the angels, their souls above us, blessing us for coming here, and remember them. Everybody wants to be remembered. If you forget them, it is as though you kill them again. So I'm very glad you came and joined me here.
We shall remember the day in its noon, the sun that rose over the stake of blood, the skies that stood high and silent. We shall remember the mounds of ash beneath flowering parks. Let the living remember their dead, for behold, they are here before us. Behold their eyes cast around and about, so let us not rest. May our lives be worthy of their memory.
się wstydzę bardzo. Że nie mogę do ciebie mówić dobrze po polsku.
No ale ja cię dobrze rozumiem, Howard.
Dlatego tobie nie telefonuję.
No ale u nas jest telefon.
My brother and I survived from my family, and this is an exception. There's very few people from a family that two people survived. Many families say there's not a sign that they ever existed. Well, I'm not trying to project that I'm a hero. I'm not a hero. I just happened to fall through the cracks. Everybody had their own experience here. Everybody had their own experience here. And you can imagine those who survived just more or less like I did. Nobody's a hero that survived the Holocaust. There was no idealism. I don't know. I couldn't rationalize things. I was like a animal, more or less. You try to hold on and grab on to everyday life. In my case, I'm sure to everybody else's case, but the hope was to be reunited with your family. And the worst part of it is the worst things you saw, you tried to give up because do I think they're going to treat my mother and my sister differently than I see these people being treated? What is happening to them? So towards the end, it was the worst time in all the years from being in the ghetto, being incarcerated in the slave labor camp, and consequently ending up here and in Buchenwald and terrorism, was these 4 weeks on the train with no food or water. And this is how life was here. You had to be invented, you had to be in the right place in the right time. If you wanted to deviate and not carry out orders as they were given and timely, you had no chance of survival here. And it didn't have to be the Germans who killed you, the prisoners would kill you because they had orders to do it. And if they didn't carry out the orders, they would be killed. So it was dog eat dog here.